Well, hey everybody, this is Patricia, and I am traveling for history in like no way at all. My car uh, wouldn't shift out of park when I was up in Montgomery filming, so at least I got a couple of videos up that way. But no, I'm just no. So I had a ranting video about that, and had complained that Geico didn't send me a tow truck. Let me clarify my experience with Geico, and I've been a customer of theirs for over 20 years. And on a scale of 0 to 10, in times past, I happily would have given them 15 on that scale of 0 to 10. So I've been a very happy Geico customer. And then there was this problem in Montgomery when, I couldn't drive because the car wouldn't shift. So what happened? I know you're wondering what happened. Well, I called them the first time and said that I needed a tow because I can't shift the car. The woman I spoke to really seemed to care. She said, "Well, let me call the tow truck company and we'll get one out to you." She said, "I'll send you a text with the tow truck company's information, their contact info, estimated time of arrival, all that good stuff that one needs, right?" So I was talking on the phone. After I hung up with her, I called a friend because I'd been texting the friend, and I called my friend, and we were talking for a while, and I realized, I haven't gotten the text message from Geico yet. Let me call them back. So I hung up with my friend, and then called Geico back. So woman number 2, different woman. It's always a different person, right? But they have notes. So she said, "Oh yeah, we tried to contact you, but we couldn't, so there's no tow truck tonight. Not for hours and hours." I said, "Well, how many hours?" I mean, it's not like I was going anywhere. And she said, "Oh, well, it's just so far in the future that there's just no tow truck tonight." Now, for the record, I have checked my text messages. There are no text messages from Geico from that time period. So I don't know how they tried to contact me. I mean, I did have some phone service, 2 bars of phone service when I was out pacing in the parking lot. But no phone service for my car, where it's comfortable. And none in the post office. I was parked in front of a post office, and it was open so you could check your boxes. But one bar in there, and the fear of losing, dropping the call. No. I've been waiting in the hold for a while. So the woman, that second woman, told me that since they couldn't get me a tow truck that night, I could call them in the morning and see if they could get me a tow truck in the morning. What do you mean you see? Why do I have to call again? I'm stuck. Just tell the tow truck driver to come in the morning instead. But hey, why think ahead like that, eh? So, I could just about hear the shrug on the other end of the phone. She said, "Well, if you don't feel safe, call 911. Yeah, it was that flippant. So, thanks for nothing. And I didn't say that to her, but I'm sure she heard that in my tone and hung up from her. So I was on the phone again with my friend, and so frustrating. So frustrating. I just don't understand this poor level of service. But this gets worse. So I called Geico a third time. Spoke to woman number 3, who lives in, I was talking to her. She was in Georgia, the state of Georgia. So a very, very strong Southern accent, which is why I asked where she was, because I actually love hearing the Southern accent. I think it has an interest. Well, the drawl is just interesting to me. She was very nice. She said she was going to call, see if she'd get me a tow truck. And I was on hold for a while. And then she'd come back on the line and said she was, working on it. So she'd go back on hold. And when she came back that last time, she said, "All right, I've got a tow truck for you. Our requirement is that they're there in 60 minutes. That's a 60, so 1 hour." And wow, that was wow, yay! And that was around midnight. So I had already texted another friend and told her, well, this is where I am. It's always good for people to know where you are. And she said, well, she was going to wake her husband and they were going to drive up and get me, take me home, because she didn't want me to sleep in my car overnight in a place, I didn't know. So when I found out the tow truck was coming, I called them and said, you don't have to come. A tow truck is going to come get me in about an hour. But they suggested they wanted to know if the tow truck driver would drive me home. Oh, had I thought to ask that? My gosh, no. No, I had not. But, it's a good thing I called a fourth time. And this time I talked to a man. Sounded like a young man, but voices are, he could have been 50 for all I know. But he sounded young. And when I called him, I said, so I was told this. And so could you ask the tow truck driver if he could give me a ride home? And this guy is just saying, well, there's nothing in the system about this. What do you mean there's nothing in the system about this? I talked to a woman in the state of Georgia, and she said that he was this tow truck guy was going to be coming within the hour to come get my car. And he said, no, there's nothing. This is not in the system, not at all. I was on hold for a good 35 minutes, just waiting to talk to somebody. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, my friends are waiting for me to call them back, and I'm on hold for 35 minutes. And there was another, I think I called them back maybe an hour later. It was very long, a very long wait. So, I was on the verge of crying. And understand, I don't cry all that often. There's no point overall in crying. And I was raised to believe that crying was something that people didn't do. So I don't really cry that much. But oh my gosh, I was ready to cry. And so this guy checked, and he said, well, there are no tow trucks tonight. Square one. But he put in a ticket for the next morning, and I asked if I had to be here, be there when the tow truck driver came, because my friends were going to come up to get me, and then they were going to drive me up the next day to deal with the tow truck. I'm still a bit speechless, to be honest. In fact, I'm more than a bit speechless. But this is what friends are for, isn't it now? That's what good friends are for. So anyway, I left the driver's side door unlocked. I had the key under the mat. Nobody was going to steal the thing. You couldn't shift it. And even if they had, maybe that would have been a blessing in disguise. Who knows? But that was... So I called after all that. So he scheduled the pickup for the tow for the next morning at about 10 in the morning. So fabulous. Yay. Called back my friends, apologized profusely for making them wait so long. Well, actually, but that part was out of my control completely. And my friend told me, well, she'd already decided they were going to come get me anyway, because who knows about the tow truck driver and all that kind of stuff. Something you have to think about when you're a woman. I don't know if men have to think about that nearly as much as we women do, but, personal safety. So they got there. They had a hard time finding me. We were on the phone. Well, where are you? So I had to tell them what I plugged in to find what I had gone up to film, and they got there. So I took the stuff out of the car I didn't want to lose, and we came home. Well, I got home thanks to my friends. So the next day, so I was up all night. You can imagine. Just couldn't sleep. Just couldn't sleep. So, what else? I had slept through the phone call from the tow truck driver and the tow truck company. God almighty. I mean, this again. And so I called the tow truck company and I asked if they had dropped my car at my mechanic's. And no, they couldn't find my car. No, they couldn't find my car. I said, well, and I explained what road it was, because the road I was parked in front of a post office in Montgomery, Vermont. And it said, the street has no street sign, but it's off of this other street, this other road. I'm not going to tell you the name of the road because then you'll know what the video is, because I got the video. Yay. Just no driving after that. So I begged him to go back up to get the car. I begged. And I'll tell you, on Sunday, I was just what's the phrase? A sobbing mess is what I was. I begged him. And he said, well, we only have one driver, and we lost out on other tows because it's a long drive, an hour and 15 minutes from from South Burlington. I thought it was 2 hours. It might as well have been, an eternity. So what happens next? I'm glad you asked. So I'm really upset, thinking, oh my gosh, I really screwed this up, blah, blah, blah. And I got a call hour and a half, 2 hours later from the towing guy. And I had told him I had been up all night and all the problems I'd had with Geico and all that. And he said, well, he said Geico never told them I was parked in front of a post office. I mean, all 4 calls, I told them I was parked in front of the post office. That's where they got the address from. Did you know that Montgomery has 2 post offices? Now, there is a village, like a Montgomery Center, and there's Montgomery. So I guess that's why they have 2 post offices. But although you'll see a beautiful town center, beautiful houses, not a town center, but houses, don't blink. Don't blink. It's a beautiful area, but it's not like, when I think of the downtown area, I do think of some businesses, and no, not that I saw anyway, but 2 post offices, and they have 2 of the same names for 2 streets that have the same name. And they're 2.6 miles apart, which is interesting because that's where my friends were. Well, that same morning, when they got there at 1:15 in the morning. So that was, because because Geico hadn't told them I was in front of a post office, because they said, the towing guy said, well, and the tow truck driver realized where I had been, and it's like, oh no, I was so close. So they decided to drive back up to get my car. Now, I was saying it was, again, maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours after that. I hadn't heard from anyone, so I called the towing company again. I stated my name, and it said, my car is stuck in Montgomery. And the owner said, oh, no, not anymore, it isn't. No, the tow truck driver is about 5 minutes away from your mechanic. They deliver they tow a lot of cars to my mechanic, because my mechanic is awesome. I'm not going to give you my mechanic's business name, because I do want to have some bit of privacy in my personal life. But let me assure you, absolutely outstanding. And a shout out to Thompson Towing, capital THOMPSON Towing, for saving the day. If I ever need my car towed, they will be the first on my list to call. That is for sure. Wow, absolutely. Anyway, So my car is now with my mechanic. But he can't look at it until the end of the week. I'm filming this on Monday night, and he can't look at it. I talked to him earlier today. He can't look at it now. It could be as simple as, are you sitting down? A fuse, as opposed to my fuse right now in my head. Or, it could be a lot worse. Maybe a transmission. Oh my God. If it's a transmission, I am SOL. So I called up Geico because I had the roadside assistance, and they provide a car rental. Well, they don't actually provide a car rental unless you're in a car accident. So I'm going to be enjoying my home for the next few days. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. This has been a whirlwind of bleh. Okay. Well, this is Car Saga Part 3. And there'll be a Part 4 when I find out what's wrong with my car. And my mechanic had said, well, some cars, there's a little pinhole, and you put a pen in there, and you can push, and you can shift the car out of park. Yeah, I had no idea. Did you? Did you have any idea that's possible? Did I think to look at the driver's manual? Not the driver's manual. The car manual. No, I did not. To be honest, I didn't think of that at all. Not at all. Dang. Oh, dang. All right. Well, this is Part 3 of my car saga. First one was rant. Second one was gratitude. And I am grateful to Thompson Towing. What's interesting also with Thompson Towing is when we were talking, I was so relieved. You can't imagine. I was on the verge of crying again. My voice was kind of stuck in that trying not to cry. I think I'm going to cry mode. I think we can picture that. And I said, well, how does the payment work? Geico said they would cover X number of miles. It was initially 20, and then they said, oh no, it's 33, and then it was 29. So it's, Geico's surprise. And the tow truck guy said, well, it is technically 2 tows. And I'm thinking, oh my God, this is going to cost me an arm, a leg, and a firstborn if I had children. But he said, this is Geico's fault for not giving us the information that you were parked in front of a post office. He said, we would have known where to look then. Because I told him what to look for, on the road, and what to look for, and it's a turn right before that. And he said, yeah. He said, the tow truck driver knows where you're talking about now. Oh, for the love of Pete. So he said that he would try to get it out of them. If he couldn't get it out of them, he'd give me a call back. I spoke to him on Sunday. That was Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening, maybe about 5. I haven't heard it from him yet. And it's Monday. Looking at the clock, it's Monday. Is it really 10:30 p.m.? Wow. Okay. So I haven't heard back from him yet. So, wow, I hope he's successful. Be nice not to have that hanging over my head. Well, it is hanging over my head, but he was, it was really, that was a shining light in my day, I have to say. All right. Well, this has been interesting and all that, but, if you like my content, it'd be great if you could subscribe to my doggone channel. I upload every day, sometimes multiple times a day. Usually my videos are short videos about weather, but the Car Saga has just sort of taken over, and we've had gorgeous weather. So, anyway, this is Patricia, and I'm traveling for history. No worries, though. I have videos up through next week. So the beauty of lots and lots of fodder. Anyway, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. And have a great night. Bye.